Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Vlogmas Day 18, and I'm just going to be doing a tutorial on how I use just only brow gel in my eyebrows. This is my eyebrow routine. This is what I do all the time. It does not change no matter what. So first I just brush my brows up just to get them all the hairs in the same direction. Then I go in with the combat gel. This is the dye-free one. I love this one. Ever since she first came out with it, I've been using it. I love her. I switched her out with my NYX brow gel. I get the dye-free one because I have sensitive skin. And I put a small amount on the back of my hand. And then I start smoothing it onto my brows in a upward motion because I like my brows to go up because of my facial expressions that I make. But, you know, your preference, you do it how you want to. And then in this clip right here, you'll just see me wiping the excess gel off as well as wiping any oils off from the other eyebrow that I may have in there. I forgot to record that part on the first brow. So next, I'm just brushing my brows up in an upward motion. And then once I get to the tail, I'm just brushing them towards whatever direction it's on the side of my face. So like this is my right eyebrow. So I'm brushing the hairs towards the right side of my face. And then at the top and in the middle, I'm brushing them up towards my forehead. Towards my hairline. That's how I like to brush my brows. I like the feathered brow look. So then I just take the tail end of my brush and then I smooth out the excess hairs that I have that are grown out. This technique works so well, especially when my brows are overgrown. It just still gives me like that sharp look in the end. So yeah, this is how it looks, and I'm gonna do the same steps on the other brow. As you can see here, I'm still just brushing my hairs into place, any grown out hairs that I may have. And then I take a towel, you could take a paper towel, whatever you want, piece of tissue, and just wipe off the excess gel that may have gotten outside of the hairlines. So then I'm gonna go back into my combat brow gel. It's so unsanitary to use your hands. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? So yeah, it did come with a little spatula to take the brow gel out, but LJ took it and he lost it, so I don't know where it's at. So I'm just repeating the same steps over and over again. The hairs that are at the top and in the middle of my brow, I brush them going towards my hairline. And then the hair that's at the tail end of my brow, basically I brush it towards my left ear because that's my left eyebrow. And then I take my rag, I wipe off any excess brow gel that may have gotten outside of the brow hairs. And then I start working in the gel. I brush it up, and then, you know, on the tail, I brush it out. And after I'm done brushing it, any excess hairs, I just smooth down with the tail end of the brush. That's probably the hardest part to, you know, master, is the smoothing part of how you want it to look. But everybody that, you know, I have been doing makeup with lately, I tell them all the time, throw away your pencils. You don't need them. Just get a good brow gel. Right now, I'm trying to make my eyebrow sisters twins, at least if they can't be sisters. Sisters, at least if they can't be twins. So yeah, this is just me taking the tail end of my brow brush and just smoothing out those grown out hairs and making my brows look even. My brows will never fully be even. I know that because one of my tails are shorter than the other, but you will see when I do my concealer that it does help with, you know, how my brows are uneven. One of my brows is a little bit further up than the other. The arches are different. Like, that's just how it is. But whenever I do brow gel and then I trace it out with my concealer, everything just turns out right. So next I'm going to go on with my Hourglass concealer in the shade Done, Dune, and I'm going to trace out the front, just the front of my eyebrows. So I use my concealer shade in the front of my eyebrows, and then I use the highlighter shade in the back of my eyebrows because it gives it that natural. It gives it that natural look. Plus, I use the concealer that I scoped out in the front of my brow. I use that in between my brows just to clean up any extra hairs. And then after I'm done tracing out the front of my brows, I just bring that concealer down towards my eyelid because I do use some of that concealer to do my eyeshadow or if I just put bronzer on my eyelids, I use the concealer from my eyebrows to start off that process, and then I use the concealer under my eyes to finish out concealing my eyelids for eyeshadow. And then at the back of my brows, I'm going to go in with my highlighter shade. My highlighter shade is brighter than my concealer shade. I'm still one of them girls who lives in 2016, 17, who likes to highlight the tailbone of their brow to make it stand out more. This also helps me to conceal and any like little dark marks that I have, because I'll be, sometimes I'll go in with a razor and shape up my brows, and sometimes it'll give me razor bumps. Whatever. Don't judge me, judge your mama. But yeah, I do the same thing that I do with the concealer shade. I do the same thing with my highlighter shade. I bring it down towards my eyelid to start prepping my eyelid for eyeshadow. I use, this from under my brows. And then I take a flat, small, puffy brush and I start blending out that concealer to make it even, and also trying to keep the highlighting shade where the highlighting shade belongs and keeping the concealer shade in the front because I don't want it to get any darker at the back of my eyebrows. And then after a while, once I feel like I got it blended good, I start mixing in the two just to like tone down the highlight as well as brighten up the concealer in the front of my brows. I don't want it too dark, but I also don't want it too light. But I have found the perfect concealer and highlighter shade for me, for my skin tone. So they work pretty well together, especially when I'm taking my time and blending things out. I would like to also mention that this is a full straight talk through video. I clipped it up maybe just a little bit to skip past the parts of me looking for makeup products. But for the most part, this is a full process, my full eyebrow process. Now, the shade that I use on top of my eyebrows is my concealer shade, which is the shade that's closer to my foundation color. I don't really wear a lot of makeup on my forehead because I don't have a lot of discoloration or dark marks on my forehead. Right now, currently, I only have one, which you can see on the left side of my eyebrow. That was a little pimple that I had that wouldn't go away. Like, it was there for a very long time and it left a mark, but I'm glad that it's gone now. And I just do the same thing at the top that I do with the bottom. I just pull the concealer out going upwards. And then after that, I take my fluffy brush and I start blending it out. Most of my forehead will be covered in bronzer. This area right here will be covered in my concealer. And I just keep blending until I smooth it out and I can't really see like a lot of lines. And the area where my bronzer is going to be put is like fully there. And then the areas where the concealer goes, I just make sure that it's high up enough to where I don't have a lot of bronzer on my forehead, but it still looks, natural with the concealer. So yeah, that's all I'm doing here is just blending. At this point, I'm pretty much done with my eyebrows. I don't know how you all feel about brow gel or the feather eye look, but I enjoy it. I think it still looks so good on my face. As you can see right here, I'm just so happy because my brows always turn out great. And as you can see, they're stiff and they don't move. They literally don't move until I take my makeup off. So see you guys later. Bye.